you've got a store, it's growing, you're getting lots of traffic coming to it, but you're stuck at 1% conversion rate and you're looking to improve that. Okay. Before I answer that then, the actual thing you really need to understand is that usually when your traffic scales, so let's say you go from like 10 people to 1,000 people to 10,000 people to 100,000 people, right? As you go to those different pools of individual customers, you're selling to less and less or cold warm audiences. So let's say you're 10 people that visit your site in a month. If you're like a really small store, it was your mum, it was your dad, it was your brother, it was your best friend. You know what I mean? All those people, and all of them bloody buy, and you have like an 80% conversion rate. And then you go and you start marketing on Facebook or go to TikToks or whatever. You start getting all this traffic from there, and all of a sudden your conversion rate plummets down to like 0.5% or 2%. And you're looking at that and going like, oh my god, everything sucks. It's really like a relative specific thing, because if let's say that you had again, as a hypothetical, let's say you had a 100% conversion rate on 10 people and you sold 10 things, but then you had a 1% conversion rate at 10,000 and you sold 100 things. Well, obviously going to still want to have the more sales overall. That's the first thing I'd say, is that just because you're like, if your traffic is going higher and your conversion is staying the same, it's actually means you're doing a really good job of marketing, and it's not necessarily a problem. The overall like how to improve your conversion rate is such a complex question. Like, what do you test first? It's like, what is wrong with your website first? The way I would look at it, if you're thinking about like your store in general and you've got it without actually seeing the store, is you've got to really think about like a couple of different elements. I would think about like, what type of store do you have, and where is your biggest sort of gap that you have? So if you think about when you're optimizing a store, the metrics you're trying to optimize for are conversion rate and average order value. That's what matters. So she mentioned I'm stuck at a 1% conversion rate. You need to look at them in conjunction, because the actual metric of those combination is something called average revenue per visitor, which is what you're trying to find, which means that every visit that lands on the site, how much are they worth on average? And that is a combination of conversion rate, average order value. If you say drop your prices by 50%, you have 50% sale, and your conversion rate will likely increase during those times, but your average order value has dropped down considerably. If you don't double the amount of sales you've got in front of 50% conversion, then that was a waste of time. You actually are still at a net zero gain, because like they're inverse. A 10% decrease in conversion rate is the exact same as a 10% increase in AOV, and vice versa. So I would start with that. Is your problem a conversion rate issue, and aka perceived value, where customers land on the site and it's the way the site looks? Is it the way that the wording is? Is it not on brand? Does it look amateurish, which a lot of stores, like when they're especially built themselves, are? Or is it a customer journey issue? Is it when they land on the site, your menu sucks? It's harder. The buttons don't work. You aren't cross-selling. Like when someone lands on a product page and they go to cart, you're not cross-selling in there. You're not upselling other products into that specific process. Like, what is your payment processors not working, or you don't have PayPal? It's those type of things that I would look at and be like, what am I missing? Where am I the most far away from? And then invest in the weakest link in your chain, get that right, and then the rest will come. But as to like what specifically, we'd have to honestly go through and do an audit and see exactly where we think.